I hope you guys are sitting down because, boy, do we have some breaking news. We've got to dive into Bill Belichick and his comments about Taylor Swift. That's right. This is breaking news, at least to us, because I myself love to bother Jenks about Taylor Swift because I know it bothers him to no end. Somebody who I did not peg as a Swiftie is Bill Belichick. Apparently, Bill Belichick is a big fan of Taylor Swift. He went to her concert at Gillette Stadium and said this about Taylor Swift. He said, quote, "That was pretty impressive. She's tough, man. She stood out there and played right through." Talking about Taylor Swift playing in the rain. And now I really want to monetize the phrase, Taylor Swift tough. Are the Patriots Taylor Swift tough this season?
Let me ask you something. If you're making, and good for her, she's making what, $4 or $5 million a concert, something insane. If it started raining, dude, I would perform, and I was making $4 million a concert. I would perform in a blizzard happily, smile frozen on my face. I mean, I would sing every song. Yes, that's not tough. You know what? That is not tough. You know what tough is? I'll tell you what tough is. Tough is grinding it out, trying to make your way in this business, performing in front of 4 fans. You're getting paid $13.50. That's tough. You can't even pay the bills. Come on. Good for her. She's an incredible performer. Taylor Swift tough. Do not let Taylor Swift tough become a thing. Someone is going to register this website immediately during this conversation, by the way.
Taylor Swift tough. Taylor Swift tough. It's kind of like the same battle cry as no days off. No days off. Do you remember when that was popular for the Patriots? So now they have a new rallying cry, and they're going to make
that'll fire them up.
Hoodies that have Taylor Swift's face on them, and it's going to be Patriots. Taylor Swift tough.
It'll be Mac Jones in the huddle saying, "Guys, before the game, guys, let me tell you something. We got to be Taylor Swift tough. You think Taylor just gave up and quit producing albums once she and John Mayer broke up? When that was the thing? No, she kept singing. So we're going to keep playing." Yeah, Taylor Swift tough. That's going to be a thing.
Yeah, we knew that Mac Jones was a Taylor Swift fan, but that was like not surprising at all. Like, I think I kind of knew that just based on the way that he carries himself. But Bill Belichick saying something about Taylor Swift, now that is a juicy story. And of course, we've got to get the opinion of our resident pop culture expert, Lucy Burge. All right, Lucy, sounds like we're going to have to replace your sounder with Taylor Swift tough. Taylor Swift tough, because you've heard it. That's the new rallying cry for Bill Belichick and company. Were you surprised personally to hear that Bill Belichick was a Swiftie?
I was. Good morning. I was a little surprised. I have already tweeted out just now the hashtag Taylor Swift tough to get that trending for you, Chelsa, so that you can then trademark that. And that will be a profitable endeavor, I do believe, because sweatshirts will be made of that because, as Belichick said, if you are a Swiftie, what does that mean? Does that mean you have a sweatshirt or something? Which is the most perfect Belichick answer to these questions, which were asked on WEEI. Good on Courtney Cox, one of the hosts of the Greg Hill Show, for asking him about this because this blew up. And Bill Belichick is a confirmed Swiftie. There was a photo of him leaving the Taylor Swift concert at Gillette Stadium. So it wasn't the biggest shock that he I don't know if he actually likes Taylor Swift. I like Jenks, like some of her songs. I am not part of the cult of Swifties. I think Midnight, she kind of mailed it in. Not her best album. I thought it was just she needed to. I didn't think it was that great. I don't think that's very Taylor tough. I think she thought I need to release an album, and so she did.
I have to ask you about this because it surprised me. Apparently, the Patriots are one of the most heavily bet win totals over at BetMGM for people liking the over 7.5 wins for the Patriots. And we know, Lucy, that you love all things Boston, all things New England. So do you personally have faith in this Patriots team?
I did, and then this is starting to worry me because I thought, oh no, maybe it's just too much of a public bet. But I could see them winning 8 games. A lot of people saying, they're a 7-win team. I don't know. I feel like this team, especially with the addition of Ezekiel Elliott, I think this team now, I have more confidence in them than I did before. I don't know if they will win the Super Bowl. I don't know if maybe they will win the division. I still think maybe they have a chance to finish last in the division, but I think maybe the over on their win total, maybe they won't finish last, but I think the over on their win total is, I would still go with that. I think this to me is it speaks to me as Taylor Swift speaks to Belichick, 8 wins at least for this team.
I'm fading the Raiders, and I am rooting for Jimmy G. And you said this early when we were talking about this team, is that I think Jimmy G is a very good quarterback. And when you talk with Devontae Adams, of course, one of the best receivers in the game, they signed Jacoby Myers during the offseason, of course, because he used to play for the Patriots, and Josh McDaniels used to coach there. That's the connection there. So Jimmy G has weapons around him. And Josh McDaniels is a guy known for his offensive acumen. That is one of the strengths of the Raiders. I do think they will have a top 10 offense. The question is, overall, when you talk about decision-making, when it comes to making those crucial in-game decisions or those second-half adjustments, can Josh McDaniels get it done? And my answer is absolutely not. So I don't see the Raiders surprising anyone. I think maybe best case scenario for them is they go over their win total again, set at 6.5. At BetMGM, the over is plus 110. But again, in that division with a head coach who has proven time and time again that he can't get it done, with some derision in that organization and a quarterback who generally cannot stay healthy throughout, to me, this just looks like an underplay.
It does not feel like the vibes are good for the Raiders, but in the sports betting world, we have to do this with every team. We have to try to shed the public opinion and all of the square, quote unquote, square thinking and think, okay, is there any way that this team can surprise us? Because you got to do that, because a lot of it's built into the number. We know the Raiders are not going to be good, but their win total is 6.5. So Jenks, are there any factors that would point towards the Raiders surprising anybody?
I honestly don't see it. And I would like to. Here's the thing. I think the Raiders are – the reason why I don't see it, 2 reasons. Number one is I do think the offense is going to be a top 10 offense. But I'm not quite so sure that Jimmy Garoppolo will stay healthy throughout the season. He's been a starting quarterback for a while now. He has not gotten through an entire season healthy since 2019, 4 years ago. I mean, he's coming off foot surgery. When he signed this contract with Vegas during the offseason, it's crazy because in that contract, if he doesn't pass a physical, which he should be able to pass his physical, but I was reading about this 2 days ago. This is something that's still kind of ongoing. If he doesn't pass a physical, that contract is null and void, and he gets nothing. They had to put that in the contract to make sure that they weren't getting sold a bill of goods as far as Jimmy G's health is concerned. So top 10 offense potentially if Jimmy G stays healthy, but we haven't seen that happen. And then conversely, Chelsa, this is a defense. I love the fact that they got Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech, number 7 overall, plays on the defensive line, going to pair him with Max Crosby. He can stand up, he can get down, play inside. So he's a very versatile guy on that defensive line. But this is a secondary that had 6 interceptions last year, fewest in the NFL, had just 13 takeaways, fewest in the NFL. So even if the offense is good, the defense, I think, struggles. And don't even get me started again on Josh McDaniels. I just don't think – I don't trust him at all.
Do you think Baker Mayfield is the starting quarterback for the entire season in Tampa Bay? Because I think that is a question that probably a lot of people have.
I don't know. I have a sneaking suspicion that Kyle Trask may be your starter before year's end. And Kyle Trask was sort of an afterthought. But if you listen to the training camp reports, then it looks like they're sort of neck and neck, and that they just went to Baker because of his experience. Because yesterday, Todd Bowles was talking about this, and he was saying, listen, Kyle Trask has done some great things. He is really surprised us. So he didn't say 1A and 1B, but that's essentially what he was getting at. So I would not be surprised if Baker Mayfield, who has looked good in the preseason, but whatever, we know his history. If he stumbles, I would not be surprised they put in Kyle Trask. Why? Because they have absolutely nothing to lose.
Right. We see this a lot at the start of the season where they go with the more experienced starter over the younger guy that has more potential, just so, they have the season starting with somebody who at least knows how to run an offense. Like we saw in Pittsburgh where they went with Mitch Trubisky at first, eventually handed the lead over to Kenny Pickett.